Hey guys, welcome to Fit to Fight Republic. It's Hope with FightFlex. Hope you guys are having a good Tuesday. Today we are just gonna do like a full spectrum or a really short full body FightFlex. So get your mat. You might need a towel or a belt for when we go to the floor. Yeah, and then let's just head to the floor, your place, the mat, wherever you're gonna be practicing today. And just take a seat. And just take a few clearing breaths. So in through your nose, and then open your mouth and let it go. Do a few more of those. So inhale through your nose, and let it go. And just let your body start to become heavy. Hey guys, notice any sensation in your body, any tightness, or maybe you feel really great today, and that's good to celebrate that as well. Notice your breath. Notice if it's smooth or if there's any like roughness or edges. And then see if you can just start to smooth your inhales and exhales out. Try to let go of what you did before you came here or showed up online. Try to let go of what you have to do once you're finished here. It's just a short period of time, so enjoy it or allow yourself to be fully present. I'm going to start with just a few neck rolls. We're going to essentially start the practice or the real practice standing, but just start to roll through your neck. Allow your shoulders to release away from your ears, releasing any tension in your jaw, in your face, maybe in between your eyebrows. And just continuing to breathe in and out through your nose if possible, which helps calm down your central nervous system. Nice. Then just take your right fingertips down to the mat, left arm comes over left ear. And let's just move through a few dynamic stretches to the left now and then to the right. Yeah. Come back to center. We'll come over to the right, so left hand either on the knee or on the inside of the knee. Coming into a twist. Maybe look over your right shoulder. Come back to center, right hand, left knee or on the inside. And just twisting to the other side. Awesome. And then come back to center. Great, so we're just gonna go ahead and start. You can come through tabletop or however you wanna get there. We're gonna come into downward facing dog. So as usual, your knees can have a nice bend in them. Or you can start to release one heel to the floor, paddle your dog out, and then the other. We're really working towards getting our hips towards the ceiling here. So I can move up so you guys can see me. Just notice how the shape feels. Focusing on your breath. Notice if your shoulders have started to work their way up to your ears, and we're just going to release those down your back. And then we're going to bend to the knees, hovering over your mat for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back into your downward facing dog. Again, you can find stillness, or if you want to paddle out your dog, you certainly can do that. And breathe. Again, we're gonna bend and hover over the mat for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back into your downward facing dog. Again, taking a few rounds of breath here. And then one more time, bending into your knees, hovering over your mat for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to the downward facing dog. And then just take your gaze forward as you bend into your knees this time. And you can take one large step, or you can take a few tiny steps all the way to the front of your mat. Find a bind that you like. Maybe you take your elbows. You can still bend into your knees here. Maybe you bind your hands behind your back, opening through your shoulders, wherever you're at. Releasing through your neck. Let's see if I can move this out of the way a little bit. Yeah. Just continuing to breathe, holding that forward fold, whatever that looks like for you. Nice. And you can start to bend into one knee and then the opposite knee. If you have a bind that you need to change, that's okay. Go ahead and do that. If shifting your weight doesn't work for you today, that's alright. You can just stay with a hold. Coming back to center, releasing your right hand down to the mat, your fingertips. If they don't quite touch, you can grab something to hold on to. Or you can just hover your fingertips. We're going to take our left fingertips toward the ceiling though. You can take your gaze to the left, or you can look up to the sky. If you want to open into your chest a little bit more, drop that left hand down. You can tuck it into your right thigh and then start to open up your chest toward the ceiling. And then just breathe. If you have a bind, fingertips come back to the sky. We're going to come back down to the mat. You can, again, just start to, if you want to grab your elbows, you can, or bending one knee and then the other. Neck should be loose. Coming back to center. And then right fingertips are going to go toward the ceiling. Again, if you want to drop your right fingertips, maybe touching your left thigh, and start to open up toward the ceiling. Every side's different. Like this is much tighter for me, so I don't open up quite as much, but that's okay. And breathe. Right fingertips come back to the ceiling, back to the floor. We're going to inhale, halfway lift to a flat back right here. Release into a forward fold. Maybe go a little bit deeper into this one. Go ahead and bring your hands to your hips. We'll come to a halfway lift. Release into your forward fold. And then slowly start to roll all the way up to standing. Nice. Awesome. Go ahead and shake your arms out. Take your feet a little bit wider than your hips, and you can just start to put your weight into your heels and then your toes here. Just finding a little bit of balance. Nice. And then we're going to come into a chair pose. Do it this way. Thumb's going to go out behind us, coming into like a squat. Arms and chest are going to open up toward the ceiling. Maybe sometimes it feels better to bring your feet closer together. In this one, I said hips distance or more. Keeping your core engaged, so your belly button to your spine. And then we're going to bring our arms behind us like we're skiing. And breathe. Maybe take it a little bit lower, a little bit deeper. Arms go back in front and then come all the way up to standing. Awesome. Again, rocking to your toes and then to your heels. And breathe. Notice if your shoulders are starting to creep up to your ears. See if you can relax them down your back. Nice. We'll do that one more time. So whatever you did that time, if your feet were closer together, then take them further apart. If they were further apart, like I recommended, then this time we're going to bring them closer together. And we're going to come back into that chair pose. Arms toward the ceiling. Belly button toward your spine changes the rotation. So here I am without my belly button tucked. This is with my belly button tucked, protecting my low back. You can wiggle your toes. Arms go back behind you for that skier's pose. Open up through your chest. This time interlace your fingers or grab that towel, and then we're going to come into a forward fold with a shoulder opener. Awesome. And breathe. Nice. Go ahead and release your bind. Hands come down. You're going to plant them on the mat. You're going to step back to a high plank and hold. Again, belly button to spine. Roll to your toes and through your heels. You can always come down to your knees if you need to. Come down to a low plank. Come all the way down to your belly. You can come into a baby cobra or cobra, or if you want to come all the way into up dog. And then back to the downward facing dog. Awesome. And breathe. Do a few of those plank rollouts. So here we stay on top of we stay on our toes. It's okay if you have a bend in your knee. Tucking your chin to your chest. Gonna roll out to that high plank. Pulling your bum to the ceiling, staying on your toes. Come back to your downward facing dog. But don't release your heels towards the floor. Again, tuck your chest, roll out to your high plank. And then bum starts coming back to the ceiling, really pulling that core in tight. Do a few more just like that. Chin to chest, rolling out to your high plank. Belly button to spine, bum toward the sky. Still on your toes. Two more. Roll out. Pause in your high plank. Bum goes to the sky. Belly button to your spine. Again, rolling out. Pause in your high plank. Bum starts to come to the sky. Nice. And then just release your heels to the floor. Awesome. And breathe. Again, make sure your shoulders aren't up at your ears. Relaxing them down your back. Then into your feet, into your knees. Take your gaze forward. You can step, hop, or take a few steps to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, you're going to bring your fingertips to the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold. Step back to your high plank. Low plank. This time, release all the way down to your belly. Coming into your Sphinx pose. I have to make some adjustments with where I'm teaching from today. Hi. Opening up through your chest, pulling your belly button through your spine here. And breathe. You can really press the tops of your feet into the mat. Awesome. If you like to take this passive variation, you can start to drop your chin to your chest. Or you can stay in this active variation. Maybe you look over, you can do both. Look over one shoulder and then the other. Again, really pulling your belly button to your spine here. And breathe. you want a little bit more, you can come to your fingertips. Just make sure that you have your back is okay. And also it's really important to tuck your belly button to your spine when you're doing this back bends or any kind of back bends. And then go ahead and release all the way down to your belly. You can stack your hands here. You're gonna point your left toe to the ceiling. And then you're just gonna, maybe you reach back for your foot or your ankle, bringing that foot to your quadricep. Maybe you just keep your toe pointed toward the ceiling. Either one are fine. And breathe. If you have your foot, even if you don't, it's okay. Just go ahead and release your chin towards the floor or towards your hand here, because we're really just trying to focus on the stretch in our quadricep. And breathe. Go ahead and release that foot, and you can change your hands out, pointing your right toe to the ceiling. Again, reaching back if you have the room, coming into a deeper quadricep stretch. You can also start to point your elbow toward the ceiling, and then just see if you can find some relaxation in the pose as we're here. Again, it's fine just to point your toe toward the ceiling, and then just focus on your breath. Notice if you've started to hold tension in your face and your jaw, and see if you can just relax out a little bit. And then slowly release that leg down, or you can bend both knees and windshield wiper your legs from side to side. Nice. Go ahead and release your feet, bring your fingertips underneath your shoulders. You can tuck your toes, press back through your high plank, back into your downward facing dog. Awesome. You're going to inhale, bringing your right leg to the sky. And just breathe here. Again, your shoulders are away from your ears. Bring that knee into your chest. You're going to step it through, coming into your half pigeon on this side. So if you want to just really get into your both facets of your hip, if you keep your left toe tucked, it really makes this stretch more active. Most of us want to release that foot and then come into a forward fold, which is fine. Just depends on what you're working. But if you try this, so keep your left toes tucked, stay up, and notice how much more sensation you feel in your right hip. And some of you are maybe like, I don't really want to feel more sensation. That's okay. Try it out. See the difference. I know you got it. And then you can decide how you want to hold the pose as we're in it a little bit longer. So if you want to release your foot and then come into more of a forward fold, that's fine. We're not going to be here terribly long. And then just breathe. Really stretching through our hips. You can also open up through your chest here. Awesome. If you are in a forward fold, go ahead and come back. We're going to release onto that right hip, bringing that left leg around. Your right foot's going to come on the inside for a seated tree. Inhale, fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, left hand on that right knee again, coming into another twist variation. Keep your, I don't know if you can see them, but you're going to keep your left toes active. And breathe. Go ahead and release. Bring both hands up to the sky again. This time we're going to come over to our left, and we're going to exhale into a forward fold over this left leg. So maybe that means hands come to your shin or beside your shin. Maybe you reach for your foot. Maybe grab that towel or belt, really coming into a forward fold here. Again, anytime we're doing these forward folds, you're working on getting your chest to your thigh, not your face to your leg. It's okay. I mean, if that happens naturally, then great, but that's not really what we're doing. Because you're releasing through, like you're just rounding your spine if you're doing this. Here you're really getting into your hips and your back and also your legs. Awesome. Releasing this hold. Go ahead and take your legs wide. And you can just gently move, maybe bend your knees a few times. You can even point and flex your toes. Then we're going to bring our hands back up to the sky. And again, release them. Fingertips can stay on the floor. And if you keep your feet active, you're rotating your thighs back and your bum almost like you're in a forward fold. Well, you are in a forward fold, a standing forward fold. You may be able to find a little bit more movement if you're working towards your flexibility, like getting closer to the floor. So here you can place your palms. Once we're here for a few breaths, you can release your forearms. After working through your legs, really keeping that rotation, belly button to your spine. If you want to start to release towards the floor, you can do that as well. But maybe that's next class, and that's okay. You can just start to walk your hands further away. Like I say, just because you can do something doesn't mean you have to do it every time. Start to walk your hands back to the center. Awesome. Legs come together. You can shake out your legs. We're going to come back, however you want to get there, maybe through tabletop, back into your downward facing dog. Again, you can have a bend in your knees. Hips are moving towards to the sky. Belly button to your spine. Shoulders away from your ears. Left foot comes to the ceiling this time. And breathe. Maybe point, maybe flex. Right heel's melting towards the floor. It's okay if it doesn't make it there. Left knee comes into your chest. And then we're going to come into that pigeon on this side. Same thing on this side. Keeping your toes tucked. Or at least play with it before you release into like your standard or whatever your go-to pigeon is. Really allowing yourself to get into your left hip here. Again, maybe you open up through your chest. And then finding whatever variation you want to work on today. And breathe. Notice how this side might feel different. Maybe you're fidgety on this side, you weren't on the other, vice versa. Just use your breath. Remember, this is only, a few moments. We're not going to be here forever. And then just breathe. If you're in a forward fold in this pigeon, go ahead and come back to your hands. Maybe you open up through your chest one more time. Then we're going to come on to this left hip, same thing. Right leg is extended. Right toes go toward the ceiling. Fingertips toward the ceiling or toward the sky. And then we're going to twist to the left. So right hand on left knee or on the outside. And breathe. Fingertips back to the sky. This time we're going to go over your right leg. So you can come to your shin. I know the lights changed. Sorry about that. But we're only going to be here a few more minutes. Maybe you reach for your foot. Again, coming into that forward fold, chest to thigh. If that's what you're working towards. And then just breathe. Releasing your foot. We're going to come back to the up to the center. Extend your left leg again. You can shake through your legs. You can even do that little body wave type deal, whatever this is called. I don't know. Again, rotating your thighs towards the back. Feet go toward the ceiling, and then you're just going to walk your hands out. You can stay on your fingertips. You can allow your palms to rest on the ground. Take a few rounds of breath here. And then if you want to start to release again into a forward fold. Remembering to breathe wherever you're at. Nice. Slowly coming back to your hands, walking your hands back. Bringing your legs together in front. You can shake through your legs, point and flex. Roll through your ankles here. Then we're going to come down. I don't know which way is better, this way maybe. Down to your back, so feet flexed, hands out like Frankenstein, coming all the way down to the floor. Bringing your knees into your chest. Awesome. Giving yourself a little bit of a massage here. Right. Now we're just going to come into an inversion, which just means your feet over your heart. So for this one, I'll show you a couple of different variations, but you know, one of the easiest and nicest is just to point your legs toward the ceiling, flexing through your feet. Your knees don't have to be straight. If this is uncomfortable on your low back, you can place your palms underneath your low back. If you want more, then you can come into your shoulder stand, which is just coming up onto your arms here, onto your shoulders, and then extending your feet all the way up to the ceiling. You're trying to make a straight line from your hips to your ankles. Breathing there. Sometimes you can come into a plow position, which a lot of you know from BJJ, which is really a full back body stretch if you're in plow and your feet are able to touch. If you want to do this and your feet don't touch the floor, get to where a wall is and you can use the wall to really work through the stretch a little bit more. Or like I said, you can just take your feet up to the ceiling. You're still getting the same benefits. Reducing your heart rate, giving your heart a little bit of a break of having to pump the blood, all the way to our toes here. Nice. And then just bring your knees into your chest. Again, giving yourself a little bit of a squeeze along your spine. You can always grab your feet, crossing your ankles, which adds a little bit more tension or pressure. Nice. And we'll come back up to a seated position. Get a little closer here. Just move through a few more neck releases, and then we'll call it a day. Go ahead and bring your right ear down to your right shoulder. And you can start to just gently bring your chin to your chest and then gaze up toward the sky or the ceiling. If you want to hold your right ear to right shoulder, bringing your fingertips, just adding a little bit more tension here. We're not pulling, we're just adding some tension. Nice. And then release. Awesome. Rolling through your shoulders. Left ear, left shoulder. This is always my really stiff side, so chin to chest. So it feels different than the right side. You guys, I'm sure you can figure that out. That's what I meant. And then maybe left ear to left shoulder as you bring your fingertips and just awesome. Come back to the center. Do some half rolls or full circle rolls. Shake out through your wrist. You can do either the wave or like your figure eights. Awesome. And then just shake. Yay. All right, guys. Well, it's always a pleasure to be with you. I'll be back on Thursday. Again, suggestions, questions, things that work, don't work. That's what I'm here for. So I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you. Thanks, Taylor. Yay. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Thanks.